Hello everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bola. If this is your first time here, kindly click on the subscribe button before you go. Today we'll be making a corset pattern. That is the outcome of the tutorial we'll be doing together. It's actually an off-shoulder design, and I'll be showing you the step-by-step process in achieving this design. I'll actually be making a short dress, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we'll be doing only the upper bodies. We'll be majoring only on the corset pattern. I'm going to set the paper aside, and on my pattern paper, I already have my lines ruled out. I have my shoulder line, the bust line, the under bust line, and my waist line. My paper is folded into two. I'm using 11 inches for my bust line, 15 inches for my under bust, and 18 inches for my waist line. I'll be taking out my shoulder measurement of 16 inches. Into 2 will give me 8. I'll be adding half inch to it, and on that 8.5, I'll be noting my armhole. I'm using 9 inches for my armhole. I'm going to connect to form my armhole line. I'll then take my tape rule to determine the midpoint. The midpoint of 9 inches is 4.5. So I'll be noting the 4.5, and on that 4.5, I'll be going in by 0.5 inch to make my armhole. I'll then take my armhole cuff to make my armhole cuff. Having done that now, I'll move over to the neck area to determine my neck design. Though I'm drafting an off-shoulder pattern, I'm just doing this for the purpose of this tutorial. I'm connecting 4 inches width by 4 inches depth for my neck design. I'm going to take my cuff to connect together. The next thing to do now is to determine our shoulder slope. I'll be sloping 1 inches. I'll be sloping by 1 inch. Okay, I haven't done that then. I'll take my tape rule to drop my off shoulder. I will be going by 5.5 inches. I'll be dropping my off shoulder by 5.5 inches. So I'm going to note the 5.5 inches, and I'm going to make into a straight line. Okay, I'll then move over to the bodies to determine my bust span. I'm using a bust span of 5 inches. So I'm going to measure out 5 inches from the mid part, and I'll measure out the 5 inches on the bust line, also on the under bust line and on the waist line. Okay, I'll go over to the 5.5 inches line that I've made. I'll also take my 5 inches. I'm going to connect the lines together. I'll make into a straight line. On the bust line, I'll be going up by 1 inch. I'll be going up by 1 inch. I'll also go down by 1 inch from the bust line. I'll then move over to my under bust line to take my darts. I'll be taking 1.5 inches on both sides of the under bust line. While on the waistline, I'll take 1 inch on both sides. I'm going to connect the points together. I will then connect to the 1 inches below the bust line. Okay, I haven't done that now. I'm going to determine the distance between my bust line and my under bust line to determine my radius. The distance between my bust line and my under bust line is 4 inches. So I'm going to take the 4 inches round, like so. I'm so sorry, I'm using a pencil. It may not be too visible. I'm going to take the 4 inches round. Okay, having done that, I'm going to connect the dotted points. I'll connect the dotted points together. So the next thing now is to move over to the midpoint, because I don't want my cup to, I want to leave like 0.5 inch at the middle. I want the cup to be 0.5 inches apart. So I'll move over to the midpoint to take out the 0.5 inch. I'm going to connect to a straight line. So it's going to serve as a guide when I'm tracing out my cup. So from the cuff that I've made, I'm going to take out my cuff. I will then extend out to join the 0.5 inches, 0.5 inch rather. I will extend it to join the 0.5 at the bust line area. So I'll move over towards the armhole area. Because we know that the bust is usually fuller at that side, on the bust line, I'm going to extend by 1 inch. I'll be extending by 1 inch. I'll also connect to meet the 1 inch extension. I'm going to blend it up to the armhole area. I haven't done that. I will then move over to the upper part. I'll use my cuff to connect to the 0.5 inch line that I made. I will then take my ruler to extend the line upwards. Then I will take out my darts on the upper parts. I'll be taking 0.75 on both sides. And I'll be joining to the 1 inch above the bust line that I made earlier. The final thing we'll be doing on the corset area is to blend out the sharp edges. I'm going to use my cuff to blend out the sharp edges. Okay, so the corset is ready. I'm turning it up so we'll be able to see what we have achieved so far. I'm trying to make that side smoother. I think it's better now. Okay, so we'll then insert our circumference measurements. The bust circumference I'm working with is 48. So I'm going to measure 12 inches on the chest line. I'll take 12 inches. I'll replace the 0.5 inch dart that will be cutting out. I'm going to replace it. Then I will add the allowance, the sewing allowance I'm using. I won't be taking the under bust measurements because whatever I took out on the waist will be able to accommodate for the under bust measurements. So I'm going to take out my waist measurements. I will replace back the 2 inches that will be cutting out. I will then add our sewing allowance. I will connect together. And we'll be cutting out. Before we cut out, we'll label each piece. I'll be labeling the piece so I won't be having problem when joining. If you are yet to subscribe to my channel once again, kindly subscribe, like and share my videos. And to my returning subscribers, I really appreciate you all. Thank you for always taking out time to watch my videos. God bless you all. So I haven't cut out now. This is now what we have. You will notice that on my fabrics, I increase it by some allowance. Okay, so I'm going to join together and show you the final results. Thank you very much for staying with me till this time. Bye.